Thank you all for coming. It is so encouraging to play to an audience and not to an empty theater. This is a Shakespeare play. We typically are not real familiar with Shakespeare's language or his stories, so I'm going to give you a little synopsis of the play that hopefully will help, and it's in your program as well. And all the characters are in the program in the order that they come out, so that might help to keep track of who's who. Excellent. Okay, so the story of King Lear is a tragedy, and that means we have a lot of dead bodies on the stage at the end of the play. And every one of Shakespeare's tragedies are really just retelling the root story, the root tragedy of Adam's fall. And we see the effect of living in a fallen world with sinful people. And his tragedies are really a mirror, and they just hold up, this is what the world is like to us. And it shows us our need for a Savior, and they actually can be very edifying, because I'll come back to what we've learned from doing the play. But first, let me give you a real quick synopsis. King Lear has no sons, but he has 3 daughters. And so in the first act, he's going to divvy up his kingdom to his 3 daughters so that he can just retire. And so, but in the process of doing that, for a reason that you'll see, he disowns his youngest daughter, who he actually is the one he's most tender to, but he disowns her, and that's tragic. Then he goes, and his plan was, and this is my plan, so when we retire, we're going to go stay with each of our children for about 6 weeks and rotate through, and just live there, do the projects. So that's what his plan is. He says, I'm going to spend a month with you, and I'm going to spend a month with you, and he's just going to keep going back and forth. But when he gets to his 2 oldest daughters' houses, their real colors come out, and they are vicious and ungrateful and do not treat their father well. And it makes him go crazy. There is just nothing worse than the ingratitude of a child. And so he has a fool who, the Bible talks about how out of the mouth of babes truth comes. So the fool speaks a lot of truth in the play and is faithful to the king. And he has one servant who he banishes, but who comes back in disguise the rest of the play to serve the king, even though he's supposed to be banished. So that's kind of one story, one family. At the same time, we're going to meet one of the other earls in the kingdom, and he has 2 sons, and his firstborn son, who is a very noble character. And then he has a second son who's illegitimate, and that son is very deceitful. And he convinces his father that his older legitimate son is trying to kill him, and he falls for that, and tragic consequences in that. So we have these 2 noble children disinherited by their fathers. And we see the sins of the fathers and the suffering that it brings to their families and to other characters in the play. In the same way that the Earl of Kent stays faithful to the king and keeps serving him, the older son, who's been disinherited, his father's looking to kill him, he takes on a costume and pretends to be a beggar and runs into his father and takes care of his father because his father loses his eyes. He tries to help the king, and the king's daughters are vicious, and when they know that he helped the king, they gouge out his eyes. So he spends the rest of the play being blind, and his son, in disguise, and he doesn't realize it, takes care of him through the rest of the story. So then, by the time we get to the end of the play, we've got a crazy king, we've got the blind father, and his daughter, who he disowned, is married to the king of France, and she comes back to England. I'm sorry, it's set in England. She comes back to England to take the kingdom back and give it to her father, and to hopefully cure her father. So she comes back, finds him as mad as the Vexy, kills the great rage in him because of her love, but she loses the battle for his throne and is captured, and she is murdered. And So there's a lot of dead bodies at the end of the stage. And as we studied this, what we learned, some of the lessons that we learned, is that sin is destructive and self-destructive, and it causes suffering, all the suffering in the world. But God is in the business of taking what men intend for evil and turning it on its head and bringing good out of it. And it's one of the things, the reason we picked this play was because we wanted to talk about what's the role of suffering. People struggle with this question. God is good. Why is there so much suffering in the world? And if we look at how suffering works in the world, and we see what suffering does to the king, and what the suffering does to blind Gloucester, we see at the end of the story, their characters have blossomed and are much more beautiful because of the suffering that we went through. And we see that a lot as we see suffering in the world, and you'll hear people all the time say, oh, it was a terrible thing to go through, but I never would have done that, or I never would have thought about that. There's a silver lining in the cloud. That's how suffering actually works in the world. It's redemptive. And God's in the process of undoing suffering and using it to do good. The devil has his intention, and God's intentions are never thwarted. He takes what the devil and men intend for evil, and he turns it around and uses it as a blessing. So we can look at suffering in the world, and it's real. There is suffering. Innocents suffer. People suffer more for their sins than seems fair. But in all that, we see God's not mean. He's not capricious. He's taking suffering and uses it for good, because we have a good God. And that's one of the other big lessons that we see in this play. Throughout the play, King Lear talks about ingratitude and how much it hurts when our children are ungrateful. And again, Shakespeare, these plays are mirrors. We're all children, and we have a good Heavenly Father who loves us, who sent his Son to die for us, and we owe him not just obedience and glory, but gratitude. It pleases him when we are grateful, and it hurts him when we're not. And we can be grateful even in suffering because we can see that he uses it to do good things in people's lives. And so it's just an encouragement. It's been an encouragement to me to remember to be grateful that God is good, even in the midst of all the suffering that we see. So I hope that helps you understand what's happening on the play. I hope you enjoy it.
Is not this your son, my lord?
His breeding hath been in my charge, though this young fellow's mother had indeed a son for her cradle, ere she had a husband for her bed. Do you smell the fault?
I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper.
But I have a son, sir, by order of law, some year elder than this. Do you know this noble gentleman, Edmund?
No, my lord.
My lord of Kent.
My services to your lordship.
The king is coming.
See the map there? Know that we have divided in three our kingdom, and 'tis our fast intent to confer them on younger strength. Our son of Cornwall, and our no less loving son of Albany, that future strife may be prevented now, for we, unburdened, crawl towards death. The two great princes, France and Burgundy, rivals in our youngest daughter's love, here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, which of you shall we say doth love us most, that we our largest bounty may extend? Goneril, eldest born, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than word can wield the matter, dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty, beyond what can be valued, rich or rare, no less than life with grace, health, beauty, and honor. As much a child e'er loved or father found, a love that makes breath poor and speech unable, beyond all manner of so much I love you.
What shall Cordelia speak?
Love, then be silent.
all these bounds, even from this line to this, to thine and Albany's issue be this perpetual, with wide-skirted meads, plenteous rivers, and showery forests. What says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife, Cornwall?
I am made of that self-metal as my sister, only she comes too short. That I profess myself an enemy to all other joys, which is most precious spur of sense possesses, and find I'm alone felicitate in your dear highness's love.
Then poor Cordelia. And yet, not so, since I am sure my love ponders in my tongue.
To thine and thine hereditary ever remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that conferred on Cornwall. Now, our joy, though our last and least, what shall our third daughter say? Speak.
Nothing, my lord,
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot leave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty.
How? How, Cordelia? Mend your speech a little, lest you mar your fortunes.
Could my lord have begot me, bred me, loved me, I return those duties as are right fit, obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sister's husbands if they say they love you all? Haply when I shall wed, that lord shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Surely I shall not marry like my sisters to love my father all.
But goes thy part with this?
Aye, my good lord,
So young and so untender?
so young, my lord, and true.
Then let it be so. Thy truth then be thy dower. Here I disclaim all my paternal care and property of blood, and hold this from thee and me forever.
Royal Lear.
Peace, Kent. Come not between a dragon and his wrath. I loved her most, and thought to set my rest on her kind nursery. Hence and avoid my sight! Albany and Cornwall, with my two daughters digest the third. Ourselves, a monthly course, with a reservation of 100 knights, by you to be sustained, shall our abode make. Only we shall rename the name of king. This way, revenue, execution of the rest, shall be yours to part this coronet between you.
Royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, reserve thy state. Check this hideous rashness, thy youngest daughter does not love thee least.
Kent, on thy life no more.
My life I never held but as a pond, to wedge against my enemies.
Out of my sight!
See better, Lear.
Oh, thou a miscreant!
Dear sir, forbear.
While circumvent dilemma from my throat, I tell thee, thou dost evil.
Hear me, Regan. I'm not allegiance. Hear me! 5 days do we allot thee for provision against the disasters of the world, and on thy 6th to turn thy hated back on our kingdom. If on the 10th day following thy banished trunk be found in our domain, the moment is thy death! Away! By Jupiter, they shall not be revoked.
Fare thee well, king. Freedom of sense and banishment is here.
Call France. To stir, call Burgundy.
I shall, my lord.
The gods to their dear shelter take thee made, that justly most right be said. In your long speeches may your deeds approve, that words of love may spring from words of love. Thus Kent bids you all adieu.
Here's France, my noble lord.
Where is the Lord of Burgundy, who we first addressed?
Pardon me, royal sir. He craved no less than hath your highness offered, to take Cordelia by the hand, unfriended, new adopted to your hate. I am sorry that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respect and fortunes are his love, I shall not be his wife.
For you, great king, I will not match your love where I hate. Therefore I beseech you to avert your liking to a more worthier way than a wretch whom nature is dishonest to dislike.
This is most strange, that she whom but even now was the best and the dearest, should in this trice of time commit something so monstrous to dismantle so many folds of favor?
I have beseech your majesty that you make known it is no vicious blood, murder, foulness, no untaste action or dishonored step to have deprived me of your grace and favor. But even for want of that for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye and such a glib and oily tongue, that I am glad I have not, though not to have it hath lost me your liking.
Better thou hast not been born, and not to have pleased me better.
Is it but this, a tardiness in nature which often leads to the hister and spoke that intends to do? She herself is a dowry, my fairest Cordelia. Thou art rich, being poor. Thee and thy virtues put my cease upon. Come, between of us, for ours and fair friends. Give them for them.
Thou hast her friends, but we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our benison.
With washed eyes, Cordelia leaves you. I know what you are. You're like a sister, most loath to call your faults as they are named. Love well our Father. To your professed bosoms I commit him. But yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So, farewell to you both. Prescribe to us our duty.
Let your study be content to your Lord.
Time shall unfold what quiet and coming hides. Well, may you prosper.
Come.
It is not little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our Father will hence tonight.
That is most certain. With you, next month with us.
You see how full of changes his age is. The observation we have made of it hath not been little. He always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment hath now cast her off, appears too grossly.
'Tis the infirmity of his age.
The best and soundest of his time hath been but rash.
Such unconscious starts we like to have from him as this of Kent's banishment. We shall further think on it.
We must do something, and in the heat.
Wherefore should I permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base, when my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous as honest madam's issue? Why brand they us with base, baseness, bastardy, base? Well then, my legitimate Edgar, I shall have your lands. Fine word, legitimate. Well then, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. Now, gods, stand up for bastards.
Kent banished us, and France and Co were parted, and the king, gone tonight, prescribed his power, confined to exhibition. All this done upon the gad. Edmund, how now? What news?
So please your lordship, none.
Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No, the quality of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. Let's see. Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, it is a letter from my brother that I have not all over read, and I find it not fit for your overlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain it or give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification. He wrote this for to taste of my virtue.
This reverence of age makes the world bitter and keeps our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them. Come to me, that of this oppression of age tyranny I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever, and live the beloved of your brother, Edgar. Conspiracy? Sleep till I wake him, you should enjoy half his revenue? My son Edgar? Had he a hand to write this, a heart and brain to breed it in? When came you to this? Who brought it?
There's the cunning of it, my lord. It was not brought to me. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother's?
If the matter were good, my lord, I durst swear it were his. But
It-
in respect to that, I would fain think it were not.
It is his.
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he never before sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord, but I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons in perfect age and fathers decline, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manages revenue.
Oh, villain! Villain! 'Tis the very opinion in the letter. Abhorred villain! Unnatural, detested, brutish villain! Worse than brutish! Ghost Ra, seek him. I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain! Where is he?
I do not well know, my lord. He hath writ this to feel my affection, and to no other pretense of danger.
Think you so?
If your honor judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer this, and that without any further delay than this very evening.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not sure.
To his father that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven and earth. Edmund, seek him out. Frame the business after your own wisdom.
I will seek him, sir, presently.
These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, and palaces treason, and the bond cracked twixt son and father. Find out this villain, Edmund, and the noble and true-hearted Kent vanished. His offense to honesty, 'tis strange.
This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, we make guilty of our disasters, the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion. Edgar, and back he comes, like the catastrophe, let it come.
How now, Brother Edmund? What serious contemplation are you in?
I am thinking, brother, when saw you my father last?
The night gone by?
Spake you with him?
2 hours together.
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word nor countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and forbear his presence some little time. The heat of his displeasure rageth in him.
Some villain hath done me wrong?
That's my fear. I pray, retire to me with my lodgings, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed, brother.
Brother, I do advise you to the best. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly, nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you, away.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit.
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool?
Aye, madam.
By day, by night, he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or another. That sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous, and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. I will say, I am sick.
He's coming now, madam. I can hear him.
Put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'd have it come to question. If he distastes it, let him to my sister, whose mind and mine I know in that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man, that still would manage those authorities that he hath given away, now by my life old fools are babes again, and must be used with checks and flatteries. Remember what I have said.
Well, my lady.
And let his natural quota looks among you. What grows of it no matter. Advise your fellows so. I'll write straight to my sister to hold my very course. Prepare for dinner.
If I other accents borrow, that my speech diffuse, that my good intent may carry through itself, that full issue for which I raised my likeness.
May not stay a drop for dinner. Oh, get it ready. How now? What art thou?
A man, sir.
What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us?
I do profess to be no less than what I've seen, to serve him truly, and to eat no fish.
What art thou?
A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as king.
If thou beest as poor for a subject as he's for a king, thou art poor enough. But what wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir, but you have that in your countenance, which I would fain call master.
What's that?
Authority.
What canst do?
I can ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly, which ordinary men are fit for, unqualified in.
Come, thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I'll not part from thee yet. Where's my knave, my fool? I'm not seeing this 2 days. Go you and call my daughter here. Oh, I think the world is asleep. How now? Where's my daughter?
So please you.
Where's that mongrel? Call the cockbook back!
Sir, your daughter says she is not well. I know not what the matter.
Where's my knave, my fool? You, sir. Come you hither, sir. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
My lady's father. My lord's knave, you whoresome dog, you slave, you cur!
I am none of these, my lord. I beseech thee,
You
pardon.
bandy looks with me.
I will not be struck in my lord.
Not tripped neither.
I thank thee, fellow, and thou shalt serve me.
Away! Away! Go to! So,
Thou servest me. There's earnest for your service.
Let me hire him too. Here's my coxcomb.
Anna, pretty boy, how dost thou?
Sirrah, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, my boy?
Why? For taking one's part that's out of favor. There, take my coxcomb. Why, this fellow has banished 2 of his daughters, and did the 3rd a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, nuncle, when I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters?
Beware, sirrah, the whip.
Truth's a dog must to kill. He must be whipped out.
A pestilent goal to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Do.
Mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest. Speak less than thou owest. Lend less than thou owest. Ride more than thou goest. Set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score.
this is nothing, fool.
You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, uncle?
Why, no, boy. Nothing can be made of nothing.
Prithee tell him, so much the rent of his land comes to. He will not believe it, fool.
A bitter fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet one?
No, boy. Teach me.
That lord that counseled thee to give away thy land, come place him here, by me. Do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear, the one in motley here, the other found out there.
Dost thou call me fool, boy?
All thy other titles thou hast given away, that thou was born with.
This is not altogether, fool, my lord.
No, faith, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they'd all have part on it. And ladies, too. They will not let me have all the fool to myself. They'll be snatching. Knuckle, give me an egg, and I'll give thee 2 crowns.
What 2 crowns shall they be?
Why, after I have cut the egg in the middle and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg. Thou hast little wit in thy bald crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had never less grace in a year, for wise men are grown wuffish, and know not how their wits to wear, their manners are so apish.
When would you want to be so full of song, sirrah?
I have used it, nuncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers. Ever since thou gavest them the rod, and putst down thine own breeches. And they for sun and joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play Bo Peep, and go the fools among. Prithee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I fain would learn to lie.
And you lie, sirrah, we'll have you whipped.
I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are.
Thou'lt have me whipped for speaking true. Thou'lt have me whipped for lying. And sometimes I am whipped for holding my peace. I would rather be any kind of thing than a fool. And yet, I would not be thee, uncle. Thou hast pared thy wit o'er both sides and left nothing in the middle. Here comes one parings.
How now, daughter? What makes that frontlet on? Methinks you are too much late in the frown.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for her frowning. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I'll hold my tongue, since your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mum, he that keeps nor crust nor crumb, weary of all shall want some.
Not only, sir, this your all-licensed fool, but other this routine. Do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured rise. Sir, I had thought by making this well known unto you to have found a safe redress, but now grow fearful by what yourself too late have spoke and done.
Are you our daughter?
I would you would make use of your good wisdom and put away these dispositions, which of late transport you from what you rightly are.
For you know, uncle, the hedge sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by its young.
You're our daughter.
As your old and reverend should be wise, here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so dispatched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows more like a riotous inn than a graced palace. Be then desired, by her that else will take the things she begs, a little too to squander to your train, and the remainders that shall still depend to be such men as may disport your age.
Darkness and devils. Saddle my horses, call my train together. Degenerate bastard, I'll not trouble thee, yet have I left another daughter.
You strike my people in disordered rabble, make servants of their betters.
Detested kite, thou liest. My men are choice and rarest part, that I support the exact worship of their name. Oh, Lear, beat at this gate, and let thy folly in the dear judgment out.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Ingratitude, and marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou showest thee in a child than the sea monster.
My lord, I am guiltless, and I am ignorant as to what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature, here, dear goddess, here! If thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful, into her womb convey sterility. If she must teem to rate her child a spleen, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away! Away. I have another daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear this of thee, with her nails she'll flay thy wolvish visage. I'll resume the shape which thou thinkest I have cast off forever.
Uncle Lear, tarry, take the fool with thee. A fox when one has taught her, and such a daughter should I slaughter, my cat could buy a halter. So the fool follows after her.
What Oswald, ho, 100 knights? 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep, I'd point 100 knights. Yes, that on each dream, each buzz, each fancy, each complaint dislike, he may guard his dotage with their powers, and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say!
Well, he may fear too far.
Safer than a trust too far. I know his heart, what he hath uttered. I have written my sister, if she sustain him, when I showed his unfitness. How now, Oswald, what have you read that letter to my sister?
Aye, madam.
Take you some company and away to horse, and form her full of my particular fear. Get you gone and hasten your return. No, my lord, this milky gentleness and of course of yours, though I condemn it not, you are still much more at task for want of wisdom than praise for harmful mildness.
Go you before her to Gloucester with these letters, and from her fully comes out of the questioning of the letter. If you're diligent, be not speedy, I'll be there for you.
I will not sleep, my lord, till I deliver your letter.
Shalt see thy other daughter will use thee kindly. For though she is as like this as a crab's like an apple, but I can tell what I can tell.
What canst tell, boy?
She will taste as like this as a crab does to a crab. Thou canst tell why one's nose stands in the middle of one's face.
No.
Why, to keep his eyes on either side his nose, that what a man cannot smell out, he may spy it too.
I did her wrong.
Canst tell why an oyster makes his shell?
No.
Nor I neither. But I can tell why a snail has a house.
Why?
Why, to put his head in, not to give it away to his daughters and leave his horns without a case.
I will forget my nature. So kind a father. Be my horses ready?
Thy asses are gone about them. The reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason.
Because there's not 8.
Yes, indeed. Thou wouldst make a good fool.
To take it again perforce. Monster ingratitude!
If thou wert my full uncle, I'd have thee beaten for being old before thy time.
How is that?
Thou shouldst not have been old till thou hast been wise.
Oh, let me not be mad. Not mad, sweet heaven. I'll not go mad. Be the horses ready? Come, boy.
The Duke be here tonight? I've heard of the news abroad. I mean the whispered ones. Of likely wars twixt the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany. The better. Best. This weaves itself perforce into my business. My father hath set guard to take my brother, and I have one thing of a queasy question which I must act. Brother, a word, descend. Brother, I say. My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. Have you not spoken against the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany? They are coming hither. Now, in the night, in the haste, advise yourself.
I'm sure on it, not a word.
Pardon me, I hear my father coming. In cunning, I must draw my sword upon you. Draw! Seem to defend yourself. Now! Quit you well. Light! Ho! Torches! Yield! Yield! Come before my father! So, farewell. Some blood drawn on me would beget opinion of my more fierce endeavor. I've seen drunkards do more than this in sport. Father! Father! No help?
Now, Edmund, where's the villain?
Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling wicked charms.
But where is he?
Look, sir, I believe he does.
Where is the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir.
Pursue him! Ho! Go after! Let him fly far! Not in this land shall he remain uncaught and found. Dispatch! He that conceals him, death. Hark! The Duke's trumpets. I don't know why he comes. All ports, all bar. The villain shall not escape. The Duke must grant me that. And of my land, loyal and natural boy, I'll work the means to make thee capable.
How now, my noble friend? Since I came hither, I've heard strange news. How doth the Lord?
Oh, madam, my old heart is cracked. It's cracked.
What, did my father's godson seek your life, whom he named your Edgar?
Oh, lady, shame would have it hid.
Edmund, I hear you have shown your father childlike office.
It was my duty.
He received this hurt, you see, striving to apprehend him.
Is he pursued?
Aye, my good lady.
If he be taken, he shall never more be feared of doing harm. For you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth this instant so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Nature of such deep trust we shall much need.
I shall serve you truly, however else.
For him I thank your grace.
You know not why we come, thus out of season, threading dark-eyed night, occasions, noble Gloucester, of some points wherein we are in need of your advice. Our sister hath writ, so has her father, of differences which I best thought it fit to answer away from home. The several messengers from hence attend dispatch.
I serve you, madam. Your graces are right welcome.
Good dawn to thee, friend. Where may we set our horses? The Maya. Prithee, if thou lovest me, tell me. I love thee. Not. Why then? I care not for thee. Why dost thou use me thus? I know thee not. Fellow, I know thee.
What does someone know me for?
A knave, a rascal, a lily-livered, a glass-gazing, a super-serviceable slave.
Why, what a monstrous fellow art thou to rail upon one who is neither known of thee nor knows thee?
Was it 2 days ago since I tripped up thy heels and beat thee before the king? Draw, you rogue, you warsome, draw!
Away, I have nothing to do with thee.
Draw, you come with letters against the king.
Help, help, murder! Help!
Draw!
Help, help, murder! Help, help! Oh no, what's the matter? Quick!
Weapons? Arms? What's the matter here? Keep peace upon your lives. He dies that strikes again. What is the matter?
I am scarce in breath, my lord.
What is your difference? Speak!
No marvel. Tailor made thee.
Thou art a strange fellow, tailor made a man.
A tailor, madam, a stonecutter or painter could not have made this man so ill.
Speak, how grew your quarrel?
This ancient ruffian, my lady, whose life I have spared it suited his gray whiskers.
Spare my gray whiskers, you quack tailor.
Peace, sirrah, you beastly knave, know you no reverence?
Yes, madam.
How fell you out? Say that. Why dost thou call him knave? What is his fault?
His countenance likes me not.
Nor perchance mine, nor his.
Lady, 'tis my occupation to be plain. I have seen better faces in my time than what I've seen before me at this very instant.
What was the offense you gave him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the king, his master, to strike at me very late. Then, tripping me from behind, being down insulted, railed upon, drew on me here again.
Fetch forth the stock, you stubborn ancient knave, will teach you.
Call not the stocks for me. I serve the king.
Fetch forth the stocks, as I have life and honor, there shall he sit till noon. Till night, my lord, and all night too.
Why, madam, if I was your father's dog, you shall not treat me this way.
Sir, being his knave, I will. This is a fellow of the self-same color our sister speaks of. Come, bring away the stocks.
Let me beseech your grace not to do so. His fault is much, and the king, his master, will surely check him for it. The king must take it ill that he, so slightly valued in his messenger, should have him thus restrained.
I'll answer that. My sister may receive it much worse to have her servant abused and assaulted for following her affairs. Put in his legs.
I am sorry for thee, friend. I'll entreat for thee.
Praise me not, sir. I've watched you travel hard. Sometimes I'll sit bell, the rest I'll whistle. Give you good while. I make room as this letter. I know it is from Cordelia, who hath most fortunately been informed of my expired course. Fortune, good night. Smile once more.
I heard myself proclaimed by the happy hollow of a tree that I escaped the hunt. No port is free, no place where guard with most unusual vigilance doth attend my taking. While I may escape, I will preserve myself. I am a thought to take on the basest and most poorest shape. My face I'll grime with filth, I'll blanket my loins, and with presented nakedness outface the winds and persecutions of the sky. Bedlam beggars, who with roaring voices strike in their numbed and mortified arms, pins, wooden pricks, nails, sprigs of rosemary, to enforce their charity from low farms, poor pelting villages, sheepcotes, and mills. Sometimes with lunatic bands, sometimes with prayers. Poor Charlie God. Poor Tom. Hey, that's something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
'Tis strange that they should so depart from home and not send back my messenger.
Hail thee, royal master.
Makest thou this shame thy pastime?
No, my lord.
are tied by the heads, dogs and bears by the neck, monkeys by the loins, and men by the legs.
What is he that hath in thy place so much mistook to set thee here?
It is a she, your daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I say.
I say A.
By Jupiter, I swear no.
By Juno, I swear A.
He durst not do it, could not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage. Where is his daughter?
With the earl, sir. You're within.
Follow me not. Stay here.
Why did the king come with so little numbers?
And thou hast been set in the stocks for that question, thou'st well deserved it.
Why, fool?
Okay, we'll set thee to school, to an aunt, to teach thee. There's no laboring in the winter. All that follow their noses are led by their eyes, but blind men. And there's not a nose among 20 but can smell him that's stinking. Let go thy hold when a great wheel runs down a hill, lest it break thy neck with following. But the great one that goes upward, let him draw thee out. When a wise man gives thee better counsel, give me mine again. I would have none but knaves follow it, since a fool gives it. That sir, which serves and seeks for gain, and follows but for form, will pack when it begins to rain, and lead thee in the storm. But I will tarry. The fool will stay, and let the wise man fly.
Where do I this fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
Didn't I just speak with me? They are sick, they are weary, they have traveled all night. Fetch me a better answer.
My dear lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how unremovable and fixed he is in his own course.
Vengeance, plague, death, confusion! Fiery, what quality? Why, Gloucester, I would speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Well, my good lord, I have informed them so.
Inform them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The fiery Duke, the hot Duke. Well, tell the hot Duke that! No, not yet. Maybe he is not well. I'll forbear. Death on my state! Wherefore should he sit here? This act persuades me that this remotion of the Duke and her is practice only. Give me my servant board. Go tell the Duke and her I'd speak with them. Now, presently, or at their chamber door, I'll beat the drum till Christ sleep to death.
I would have all will betwixt you.
Oh, me, my heart, my rising heart, down.
Cry to it, nuncle, as the cockney did to the eels when she put him in the paste alive. She napped him where the coxcombs with a stick and cried, "Down, Wuntons, down!"
Good morrow to you.
I'm glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. If you are not, I would divorce me from thy mother's tomb. Beloved Regan, thy sister is not. She hath tied sharp tooth unkindness here, like a vulture. I can scarce speak with thee. You won't believe with how depraved a quality. Oh, Regan!
I have... Be patient, sir. I have hope you less know how to value her descent than to scant her duty.
How is that?
I cannot think in the least my sister would fail her obligations. If, sir, she has restrained the wrath of your followers, to then such ground and to such wholesome ends as clears her from all the blame.
My curses on her.
Oh, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands at the very verge of his confine. You should be led and ruled by some discretion that discerns your state better than you yourself. Therefore, I pray you, return to my sister. Say you have wronged her.
Ask her forgiveness? Dear daughter, I confess that I am old. On my knees, I beg you that you'll vouchsafe me bed, raiment, and food.
Good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never, Regan. She hath abated me of half my train. Looked black at me, struck me with her tongue, most serpent-like upon the very heart. Oh, you stored vengeance of heaven, fall on her ungrateful top. You nimble lightnings, Dart your blinding flames into her scornful eyes. Infect her beauty.
Oh, the blessed gods, so you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
Never, Regan. Thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender heft in nature does not give thee over to harshness. 'Tis not in thee to grudge my pleasures, to disquiet my train, and altogether to oppose the bolt against my coming in. Thou better knowest is the office of nature, bonds of childhood, dues of gratitude. Thy half of the kingdom wherein I thee endowed, thou hast not forgot.
Good sir, to the purpose?
Who stopped my man?
What trumpet's that?
I know it, 'tis my sister, that approves her letter that she will soon be here.
Who stalked my servant? Regan, I have good hope thou dost not know it. Oh, who comes here? Oh, heaven, send down and take my part. Are not ashamed to look on this white head? Oh, Regan, will you take her by the hand?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended?
Oh, sod, you are too tough. Will you yet hold? How came my man in the stocks?
I sat in there.
You? Did you?
Oh, sir, being weak seems so. If till the expiration of your month you return and sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come then to me. I am now from home, and am out of that provision which shall be needful for your entertainment.
Return with her? In 50 men dismissed? No! Rather I choose to wage war against the enmity of the air, to be a comrade with the wolf and owl. Return with her! Return with her! Persuade me rather to be a slave to this detested groom.
At your choice, sir.
I pray you, dear daughter, do not make me mad. I'll not trouble thee. Farewell. Thou art a plague, a sore carbuncle, my corrupted blood. But I can be patient. I can stay with Regan, I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I look not for you yet, nor am provided for your fit welcome.
Is this well spoken?
I dare vouch it. What 50 followers? Is it not well? What do you need of more? How in one house can so many people under 2 commands hold amity? 'Tis hard, almost impossible.
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants, or from mine?
Why not, my lord? For if they chance to slack you, we could control them. If you come to me, for now I spy a danger, bring but 5 and 20. To no more will I give place or notice.
I gave you all.
And in good time you gave it.
Made you my guardians, but kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. What? Must I come to you with 5 and 20? Said you so, Regan?
And say it is again, no more with me.
Those wicked creatures yet look well favored when others are more wicked. I'll go with thee. Thy 50 followers yet doth double 5 and 20, and thou art twice her love.
Hear me, my lord. What need you 5 and 20, 10 or 5, to follow at a house where twice so many have a command attend you?
What need one?
Oh, reason not the need. Why, thou art a lady. Nature's needs not know what thou wearest, which scarcely keeps thee warm, but for a true need. Oh, patience, patience I need. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man, as full as grief as age, wretched in both. Know you unnatural hags, I will have such vengeance on you both that all the world shall. I will do such things, what they are I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You'll think I weep. No, I will not weep. I have full cause of weeping, but this heart shall break into 100,000 falls ere I weep. Oh, fool, I shall go mad.
'Twill be a storm. This house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
'Tis his own blame hath put himself from rest, and must needs pace his folly.
I'll receive him gladly, but not one of his followers.
He is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
He calls horse, but will I know not whither?
'Tis best to get in his way. He leads himself.
Alack, the night comes on, and the highlands do sorely ruffle. For many miles about, there's scarce a bush.
Oh, sir, to willful men, the injuries that they themselves procure must be their schoolmaster. 'Twill be a storm. Shut up your doors.
contending with the fretful elements, bids the wind blow the earth into the sea, tears his white hair. This night, while in the belly-pinched wolf keeps his fur dry, unbonneted he runs. None but the fool is with him. There is division twixt Albany and Cornwall. All through as yet the face is covered with mutual cunning. From France there comes a power into this scattered kingdom, who already have secret feet in some of our best parts. I have sent news on to Cordelia. Fly on this storm. I will go seek the king.
Blow winds and crack your cheeks. Rage, blow, you cataracted hurricanos. Spout to your drenched steeples, drown of the cocks. And thou sulphurous and thought-executing fires, bouncers, oak-cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white head. And thou, O shaking thunder, strike flat the thick rotundity of the world that makes ingrateful man.
Oh, Noggle, court holy water in a dry house is better than this rainwater out of the door. Good Noggle, and as thy daughter's blessing, here's a knight that pities neither wise men nor fools.
Rumble thy belly full, spit fire, spout rain, nor rain, rain, fire on my daughters. I tax not you, you elements. You owe me no subscription. I never called you children, gave you kingdom. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak old man.
He that has a house to put his head in, that has a good headpiece.
No. I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing.
Who's there?
Mary, here's a wise man and a fool.
Are you there? Things that love the night? Love not such as this. King, hard by here is the hovel. Some friendship will I lead you against the tempest.
My wits begin to turn. Our thoughts, my boy, are cold. I'll call myself. Come, bring us to the hovel. The art of necessity is strange to make vile things precious. Poor fool and knave, I have one part of my heart that's sorry yet for thee.
He that has in a little tiny wit, with hay, hope, the wind and the rain, must make content with his fortune's fit, though the rain, it raineth every day.
Come, bring us to this hovel.
Alack, Edmund, I like not this unnatural dealing. When I desired their leave, that I might pity him, they took from me the use of mine own house, charged me, on pain of perpetual displeasure, neither to speak of him, entreat for him, or any way sustain him.
Most savage and unnatural.
Go to, say you nothing. There is division between the dukes, and a worse matter than that. I have received a letter this night. 'Tis dangerous to be spoken. I have locked the letter in my closet. There is part of a power already footed. We must incline to the king. I will look him and privily relieve him. Go you, and maintain talk with the duke, that my charity be not in him perceived. If he ask for me, I am ill and gone to bed. If I die for it, as Noblesse has threatened me, the king, mild master, must be relieved. There are strange things toward Edmund. Pray you, be careful.
Of this courtesy shall the Duke know, instantly, and of that letter too. This seems a fair deserving, and must draw me that which my father loses. No less than all, the younger rises when the old doth fall.
Here's the place. Good my lord. Enter.
Let me alone.
Good my lord, enter here.
Will break my heart.
I rather break mine own. Good my lord, enter.
Thou thinkest that this contentious storm invades us to the skin. So 'tis to thee. Where the greater malady is fixed, the lesser is scarce felt. Thou shunnest the bear, but if thy flight light towards the roaring sea, thou meetst the bear in the mouth. Mind's free, the body's delicate. This tempest in my mind, take all feeling else, save what beats there. Filial ingratitude.
Good my lord, enter here.
In such a night to cast me out. Poor aunt, I will endure. In such a night as this. Goneril, Regan, your old kind father who frank heart gave all. Oh, but let me shun that. Madness lies that way. Go, sit down, comfort. And boy. Nay, sit down, ease. I'll pray, and then I'll sleep. Poor naked wretches, wheresoever you are, I'll show your houses heads and unfed sides, fair in seasons such as these. Oh, I have taken too little care of this.
Who's there?
A spirit. He says his name's poor Tom.
Come forth.
Away! The foul fiend follows me. To the sharp hawthorn blows a cold wind. Cold like cold bed and warm thee.
Didst thou give all to thy daughters, and art thou come to this?
Who gives anything to poor Tom? With the foul fiends, and let the fire and the flame, the ford and warble, for bog and quagmire. With late nights on his pillow, 'tis rats bane by his porridge. Plus thy 5 wood storms are cold. Oh, do-de-do-de-do-de-do-de. Blessing for worlds. Star blessing and taking. To poor Tom some charity. Would a foul fiend vexes. There could I have him now. And there. And there again. And there.
Didst thou give all to thy good daughters? Couldst thou save nothing?
Nay, he preserved a blanket, else we had all been shaved.
He hath no daughter, sir.
Death, traitor! Nothing could subdue nature to such alone except his own daughters. What hast thou been?
A serving man, proud in heart and mind. I curled my hair, wore gloves in my cap, swore as many oaths as I spake words, and broke them in the sweet face of heaven. Why I love thee, dies dear, false of hearts, lights of ear, bloody of hands, hawk and sloth, fox and stone, wolf and greediness, dog and madness, lion and prey. Keep thy pen from lenders' books, and defy the foul fiend. And still that hawthorn blows a cold wind. Say someone none dumb, my boy, says I'll let it tremble.
Thou better answer the storm in the grave than thy uncovered body. Is man no more than this? Consider him well. Thou owest the worm no silk, the beast no hide, the cat no perfume. Unaccommodated man is no more but such a fork-bear animal. Off, you Lennings! Come, unbind me here.
Worthy Knuckle, be contingent. 'Tis a naughty night to swim in.
Look, here comes a walking fire.
This is the foul fiend fruit each of its. He starts at Gershon and walks in the first cock. He squints the eye, hurts the poor creature of the earth.
Who's there? What is it you seek?
What are you there? Your names?
Poor Tom. That is the swimming frog, the toad, the tadpole, and the walnuts, and the fury of his heart. When the old foul fiend rages, scouts, swallows the old rat and ditchcock, treats the green mantle of the standing pool, who's wet from tithing to tithing, stops punished in prison. But rats and mice, as if small deer, and poor Tom's food for 7 long years. Beware thy follower, peace-smoking, peace-thou fiend!
What, hath your grace no better company?
The prince of darkness is a gentleman. Morrow is called and morrow.
Go in with me. My duty cannot suffer to obey in all your daughter's hard commands, though their injunction be to bar my doors and let this tyrannous night take hold upon you. Yet have I ventured to come seek you out and bring you where both fire and food is ready.
I will speak a word with this philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
Then my lord, take his author and go with him into the house.
I will speak a word with this same learned Theban. What is your study?
How to prevent the fiends and kill the vermin.
I'll speak a word with you in private.
Good my lord, soothe him once more. Go with him into the house.
Canst thou blame him? His daughters seek his death. Ah, that good king. He said it would be thus, poor banished man. Thou sayest the king grows mad. I'll tell thee, friend, I am almost mad myself. I had a son, now outlawed for my blood. He sought my life. But lately, very late, I loved him, friend. No father his son dearer. True to tell thee, the grief hath crazed my wits. What a night's this! I do beseech your grace.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir. Come, noble philosopher, your company.
Tom's cold.
In, fellow, there is the hovel. Keep thee warm.
Let's in all.
This way, my lord.
I will keep still with my philosopher.
Good my lord, soothe him. Let him take the fellow.
Take him you on.
Sirrah, come along with us.
Come, good Athenian.
No words, no words. Hush.
Child Roland to the dark town cave. His word was so. 5, 4, 4.
How malicious is my fortune. This is the letter he spoke of, which proves him intelligent to the advantages of France. Oh heavens, that this treason were not I the detector. The matter of this paper be certain, you have mighty business in hand.
True or false, it has made you Earl of Gloucester. Seek out your father, that he may be ready for our apprehension. I'll have my revenge ere I depart this house.
If I find him comforting the king, it will stuff their suspicion more fully. I will persevere in my course of loyalty, though the conflict between that and my blood be sore.
I will lay trust upon you. You will find a dear parent in my love.
Here is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will piece out the comfort with what addition I can. I will not be long from you.
For God's reward your kindness.
Ranretto calls me. Tells me Nero is an angler in the lake of darkness. Pray, innocent, to beware the foul fiend that bites my back.
Now, let's rest here and rest a while.
I entertain you for 1 of my 100. Though I do not like the fashion of your garments. You will say they are Persian, but let them be changed.
Rest here a while. Rest here.
No noise, no noise. I'll go to supper in the morning.
Come hither, friend. Where is the king, my master?
Here it is, but trouble him not. His wits are gone.
Good friend, I pray thee, take him in thy arms. I have overheard a plot of death upon him. There's a litter ready, lay him in it, and drive toward Dover, friend, where thou shalt meet both welcome and protection. If thou shouldst dally half an hour, his life with thine, and all that offer to defend him, stand in assured loss. Take up, take up! Come away.
My tears begin to take his part so much they do mar my counterfeiting. When we our betters see bearing our woes, we scarcely think our miseries our foes. How light and portable my pain seems now. That makes me bend, makes the king bow. Tom away, we'll have more tonight. Safe escape the king, Lord.
Post speedily to my lord your husband. Show him this letter. The army of France has landed. Seek out this traitor Gloucester. Hang him instantly.
Pluck out his eyes.
Leave him to my displeasure. Edmund, keep your sister company. The revenges we are bound to take on your traitor's father are not fit for beholding. How now, where's the king?
My lord of Gloucester hath conveyed him hence. Some 5 and 6 or 30 of his knights are gone with him toward Dover, where they boast to have well-armed friends.
Get horses for your mistress.
Your well, sister.
Ungrateful fox, traitor!
What means your grace? Good, my friend, consider you are my guest. Do me no foul play, friend.
Bind fast his courtiers. To the chair, I say.
Unmerciful lady as you are, I'm none. Naughty lady, I am your host. With robbers' hands my hospitable favors, you should not ruffle thus. What will you do?
Speak. What letters have you late from France? Be simple to answer, for we know the truth. And what confederacy have you with the traitors, late-footed in the kingdom, who you have sent the lunatic king? Speak.
I have a letter, guessingly set down, which came from one that's of a neutral heart and not from one opposed.
Cunning and false. Where has he sent the king?
To Dover.
Wherefore to Dover? Were they not charged at peril?
Because I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister in his anointed flesh stick boorish fangs. I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children.
See it? Thou shalt never. Fellow, hold the chair. Upon these eyes I'll set my foot.
Give me some help! Ah!
Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mod husband not met us on the way. Now where's your master?
Madam within, but never man so changed. I told him of the army that had landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer was the worst. Of Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son, he called me sot and told me I had turned the wrong side out. What most he should dislike seems pleasant to him, what like offensive.
Things shall you go no further. It is the coward's terror of the spirit that dares not undertake. Back Edmund to my brother, hasten his musters and conduct his powers. I must change names at home and give the staff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us. Ere long you will like to hear if you dare venture in your own behalf. A mistress's command. Wear this. Spare speech.
Yours in the ranks of death.
My most dear Gloucester, oh, the difference of man and man.
Oh, Garland, you're not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face.
Milk-livered man that bears the cheek for blows. A head for wrongs, where's thy drum? France spreads his banners in our noiseless land. With plume at helm, thy state begins to threat. Whilst thou, a moral fool, sits still and cries, "Alack, why does he so?"
Haggers, not daughters. What have you done?
Oh, vain fool.
The Duke of Cornwall is dead. Slain by a servant who was going to put out the eyes of Gloucester.
Being widow and my Gloucester with her, may all the building in my fancy pluck upon my hateful life.
All dark and comfortless. Where's my son Edmund? Edmund, enkindle all the sparks of nature to quit this horrid act.
Out, treacherous one, smell thy way to Dover. You callished on him that hates thee. It was he that made the overturning of treason to us. Who's too good to pity thieves?
Oh, my follies. Then Edgar was abused. Kind gods, Forgive me that, and prosper him.
But who comes here? My father, world. You cannot see your way.
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw. Oh, dear son Edgar, might I but live to see thee in my touch, I'd say I had eyes again.
Who can't say I am the worst? I'm worse than I was, and worse than maybe yet. The worst is not as long as we can say it's just the worst.
Is that the naked fellow? Is the last night's storm? I such a fellow saw, which made me think a man a worm. My son then came into my mind, and yet my mind was then scarce friends with him. I have heard more since.
Bless thee, master.
'Tis the time's plague when madmen lead the blind.
Poor Tom's cold.
Come hither, fellow.
Bless thy sweet eyes, they bleed.
Knowest thou the way to Dover?
Both stile and gate, horseway and footpath. Poor Tom has been scared out of his good wits. 5 fiends have been at poor Tom at once. Of lust, of Leviticus, Homidibus, into dumbness, Mahu, of stealing, Modo, of murder, Flippity Gibbet, of mocking and moan. So bless thee, master.
Here, take this purse, thou whom the heaven's plagues have humbled to all strokes. That I am wretched makes thee the happier. Dost thou know Dover?
A master.
There is a cliff, whose high and bending head looks fearfully in the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repair the misery thou dost bear with something rich about me. From that place, I shall no leading need.
Give me your arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
The queen read my letter, and now and then an ample tear trod down her delicate cheek. You have seen sunshine and rain at once. Her tears and smiles were like a better way. Once or twice she heaved the name of father, as if it pressed her heart. Cried, sisters, sisters, shame of ladies, sisters. Well, sir, the poor distressed Lear is in the town, and by no means will yield to see his daughter. Sovereign shame so elbows him. So unkindness will yield him from seeing his daughter. Albany and Cornwall's powers afoot.
Alack, 'tis he. Why, he was met, even now, as mad as the vexed sea, singing aloud, crowned with rank hemlock, nettles, cuckoo flowers, darnel, and all the idle weeds that grow in our sustaining corn. A sentry, send forth, search every acre in the high-grown field, and bring him to our eye. What can man's wisdom in the restoring of his bereaved sense? Our foster nurse of nature is repose, the which he lacks. But to provoke in him are many simples operative, whose power will close the eye of anguish. All you unpublished virtues of the earth, spring with my tears. Be aidant and remediate in the good man's distress. The British powers are marching hitherward. Our preparation stands in expectation of them. Oh, dear Father, it is thy business that I go about. No blown ambition doth our arms incite, but love, dear love, in our aged father's right. Soon may I hear and see him.
What are my brother's powers set forth?
I know.
Faith, Edmund is close with hence in serious matter. It's great ignorance Gloucester's eyes being out to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us.
I must cease after him with this letter, my lady.
What might import my sister's letters to him?
I know not.
Why should she write to Edmund? My lord is dead. Edmund I have taught, and more convenient is he for my hand than for your ladies. If you do find him, pray, give you this note. If you do hear of that blind traitor, preferment falls on him that cuts him off.
What I can read him, madam.
Fare thee well.
When shall I come to the top of that same hill?
We did climb up and down. Look how we labor.
Methinks the ground's even.
Horrible steep. Hark, you hear the sea.
No, truly.
Why then? Your other senses grow imperfect at your eye's anguish.
So may it be indeed. Methinks thy voice is altered, and thou speakst in better phrase and matter than thou didst.
You're much deceived, and nothing in my chain except my garments.
Methinks you're better spoken.
Come on, sir.
Here is the place. Stand still. Oh, fearful and dizziness to cast one's eyes so low. The crow that wings the midway air shows scarce close his beetle. Halfway down, thinks one that gathers sapphires. Dreadful trade. Methinks he seems no bigger than his head. Fishermen that walk on the beach appear like mice. And yon tall anchoring bark diminished to a cock. Or cock-a-buoy, almost too small for sight. And the murmuring surge upon the unnumbered idle pirate shafts could not be heard so high. I'll look no more, lest my brain turn, and the sight deficient topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
You're now within a foot of the extreme verge. For all beneath the moon would I not leap upright.
Let go my hand. Here, friend. It's another purse. In it, a jewel, well worth a poor man's taking. Go thou further off, bid me farewell, and let me hear thee going.
Now, good sir, fare thee well.
With all my heart.
Why are you trifled thus with his despair? Is done to cure it.
O you mighty gods, this world I do renounce, and in your sights shake patiently my great affliction off. If Edgar live, oh bless him. Now, fellow, fare thee well.
On, sir, farewell. Had he been where he thought, but this had thought been past.
Alive or dead? Oh, you, sir, speak. Here is you. Yet might he pass indeed. Yet he revives. Sir, what are you?
Away and let me die.
Hast thou been aught but gossamer, feathers, air, so many fathoms down precipitating? Thou dost shiverest like an egg, yet thou speakest, bleedest not, hast heavy substance, art sound. 10 masts at each makes not the distance which thou hast perpendicularly fell. Thy life's a miracle. Speak yet again.
But have I fallen or no?
From the dread summit of this chalky bourne, the shrill-gorged lark cannot be seen nor heard so high. Do but look up.
Alack, I have no eyes.
Give me your arm. Feel your legs. You stand.
Too well, too well.
This is above all strangeness. But on the crown of the cliff, what was that thing that parted from you?
A poor, unfortunate beggar.
As I stood here below, methought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 100 noses, horns that whelked and waved like the enraged sea. It was some fiend. Therefore, thou happy father, think that the clearest gods, who makes honors of men's possibilities, hath preserved thee.
I do remember now. Henceforth I'll bear affliction till it do cry out itself, enough, enough, and die. That thing you speak of, I took it for a man. Often 'twould say, the fiend, the fiend. He led me to that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. But who comes here?
No, they cannot touch me for coining. I am the king himself.
Oh, the side-piercing sight.
Nature's above art in that respect. That man handles his bow like a crow keeper.
Throw me across your yard.
Look, a mouse! Peace, 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 peace. This piece of toasted cheese will do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll prove it on a dime. Call out the brown bills. Oh, well flown, bird. In the club. Give the word.
Sweet marjoram?
Pass.
I know that voice.
Ah, Goneril with the white beard. They flattered me like a dog. Told me I had white hairs. Said A and no to everything that I said A and no to was no good divinity. Down from the waist there are centaurs, the women all above. All beneath is the fiends. There's hell, there's darkness, there's a sulphurous pit, burnings, stench, conception. Fire. Give me an ounce of civet, good apothecary. Sweet my imagination.
The trick of that voice I do well remember. Is it not the king?
I ever yet a king. When I do stare, see how the subject quakes. Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters. Go to, they are not men of their words. They told me I was everything. 'Tis a lie.
Oh, let me kiss that hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, rude piece of nature. Dost thou know me?
I know that eyes well enough. Does thou squinty at me? No, do thy worst, fine Cupid. I'll not love. Read thou this challenge, mark but the penning of it.
Were all thy letters sons, I could not see.
I would not take this from report. It is. My heart breaks at it.
Read.
What, with the case of eyes?
Oh, are you there with me? No eyes in your head, nor money in thy purse. But you see how the world goes.
I see it feelingly.
What? Art mad? A man may see how the world goes with no eyes. Take that on me, my friend. Get the glass eyes. And like a scurvy politician, seem to see that thou dost not. Pull off my boots. Harder, harder.
Oh, matter and appurtenancy mixed, reason and madness.
I know thee well enough. My name is Gloucester. Thou must be patient. I'll preach to thee. Mark. Alack the day. When we are born, we cry that we have come to this great stage of fools. And when I have stolen upon these son-in-laws, then kill! I will die bravely, like a smug bridegroom. What? I'll be jovial. Come. I'm a king. Come and you shall get it. You shall get it by running.
The sight most pitiful in the meanest wretch, past speaking of a king. He hath a daughter, which redeemed nature from the general curse, past speaking of a king.
You ever gentle gods, take my breath from me. Let not my worser spirit tempt me again to die before you, please.
Well, pray you, father.
Now, good sir, what are you?
A most poor man. Come, I'll lead you to some biting.
Hearty thanks. The bounty and the benefits of heaven, to boot and boot.
A proclaimed prize, most happy. The sword is out that must destroy thee. Wherefore, bold peasant, let go his arm.
She'll not let go, sir, without further occasion.
Let go, slave, without eyes.
Good gentlemen. Go your gate. Let poor folk pass.
Out dunghill. Slave, thou hast slain me.
Villain, take my purse. Give the letters which thou findest about me to Edmund, Earl of Gloucester. Seek him out upon the English party. Oh, and time, death. Death?
I know thee well, a serviceable villain, as duteous to the vices of your mistress as badness would desire.
What, is he dead?
Sit you down, father. Let's see these pockets. The letters he speaks of may be my friend's. He's dead. Let's see. Let our reciprocal vows be remembered. You have many opportunities to cut him off. If your will want not, time and place will be fruitfully offered. There is nothing done if he return the conqueror, then I the prisoner. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant Goneril. O indistinguished space of woman's will, a plot upon her virtuous husband's life, in exchange, my brother. For him, 'tis well thy destined business, I can tell. Come, father. Far off methinks I hear the beaten drum. I'll bestow thee with a friend.
Oh, thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness? My life will be too short, and every measure fail me.
Speak not, is overpaid.
Be better suited. These weeds are memories of those worser hours. I pray thee, go put them off.
My boon, I think you know me not. To time, I think met.
Then be it so, my good lord. How does the king?
Madam, he sleeps still.
Oh, you kind gods, cure this great breach in his abused nature. Is he arrayed?
Yes, madam, in the heaviness of sleep, we put fresh garments on him.
Had you not been their father, these white flakes that challenge pity of them? Was this a face to stand opposed against the jarring winds? To stand against the deep, dread, bolted thunder? And the most terrible and nimble stroke of quick cross lightning? My enemy's dog, though he had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire. And thou wast fain, poor father, to hobble thee with swine, and robes were moored in shortened musty straw? Alack, alack, 'tis wonder if thy life and wits had not at once concluded all. He wakes, speak to him.
Madam, you speak to him?
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
Do me wrong, you take me out of the grave. Thou art a soul in bliss, but I am bound to wield fire. Let mine own tears scald like molten lead.
Sir, do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. Where did you die?
Still far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him alone a while.
Where am I? Where have I been? Fair daylight? I will not swear these are my hands. Let's see. I feel that pinprick. Would I were assured of my condition.
Oh, sir, hold your hand in benediction over me.
Pray, do not mock. I'm a very foolish, fond old man. 4 scores and upwards, not an hour more nor less. And to deal plainly, I fear I am not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you, know this man, but I am mainly ignorant of what place this is. And all the skill I have remembers not these garments. Nor did I know I did lodge last night. For as I am a man, I think this lady to be my child Cordelia.
And so I am.
Richard, what? Yes, Faith. Pray, weep you not. If you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me, for your sisters have, as I do remember, done me wrong. You have some cause, They do not.
No cause, no cause.
Am I in France?
Your own human, sir.
Do not abuse me.
Will it please your highness walk?
Your agency was killed.
Pray you now, forget and forgive. I am old and foolish.
Our sister man has certainly miscarried.
'Tis to be doubted, madam.
Now, my sweet lord, you know the goodness I tend upon you. Tell me but truly, but then speak the truth. Do you not love my sister?
An honored love.
I shall never endure her. Dear my lord, be not familiar with her.
Fury not.
I had rather lose the battle than that sister should lose him and me.
A very loving sister, well be met.
Sir, this I heard. The king has come to his daughter. France invades our land.
Combined together against the enemy, for these domestic and particular broils are not the question here.
I shall attend you presently at your tent.
Sister, will you go with us?
No.
'Tis most convenient. Pray, go with us.
Oh, I know the riddle. I will go.
If ere your grace had speech with man so poor, hear me one word. Speak. Before you fight the battle, open this letter. If you have victory, let the trumpet sound for him that brought it. Wretched though I seem, I can produce a champion that will prove what is avouched there. If you do miscarry, then your business here on the world has so an end, and machination ceases. Fortune love you.
The enemy is in view. Draw up your powers. Here's a guess of the true strength and forces by diligent discovery, but your haste is now urged upon you.
You will greet the time.
To both these sisters have I sworn my love, each jealous of the other. Which of them shall I take? One, both, or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then, we'll use his countenance for the battle, which, being done, let him who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy which he intends to Lear and Cordelia, the battle done and they within our power, shall never see his pardon. For my state stands on me to defend, not to evade.
The shadow of this tree is mine good post.
Awake! Old man, give me your hand. King Lear hath lost. He and his daughter is taken. Come on, give me your hand.
No further, sir. A man may rob, even here.
What? An ill thought again? Men must endure the going hence, even as they're coming hither. Come on, right, this is all.
And that's true, too.
Some officers, take them away. Good guard.
We are not the first who with best meaning have incurred the worst. For thee, oppressed king, I am cast down. Myself could else outfrown false fortune's frown. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
No. Come, let's away to prison. We two alone will seem like birds in a cage. Then we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies and hear poor Rose talk to courtiers. And we'll talk with them too, of who wins, who loses, who's in and who's out, and take upon the mystery of things as if we were God's spies.
Take them away. Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention with appointed guard. With him I sent the queen. They are ready tomorrow or at further space to appear where you shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed, The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place.
Sir, I held you but a subject of this war, not as a brother.
He bore our commission, bore the commission of my place and person, to which immediately he may well stand up and call itself your brother.
Not so hot. In his own grace he doth exalt himself, more than in your edition.
Lady, I am not well, else I should answer from a full flowing stomach. General, take you my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them of me. The walls is thine. Witness to the world, I create thee here, my lord and master.
Edmund, I rest thee on treason. Let the trumpet sound. There is my pledge.
Sick, oh sick,
If not on mere trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me traitor, villain like he lies. Call on him by the trumpet. He that dares approach on him, on you, who not? I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
my sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Let the trumpet sound.
Behold, I protest. Despite thy victor sword and fighting on fortune, thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor. False to thy gods, thy brother and thy father, conspiring against this high illustrious prince. In the extremest upwards of your head, very dust below thy foot, the most toad-spotted traitor. If thou say no, this sword, this arm, and my best spirits are bent to prove wherein I speak. Thou liest.
Back do I toss these treason slideheads! What thou have charged me with, that have I done, and much, much more. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast this fortune on me? If thou art noble, I do forgive thee.
I am no less in blood than thou art. If more thou hast wronged me. My name is Edgar, thy father's son. The gods are just.
Thou hast spoken right. 'Tis true, the wheel has come full circle. I am here.
How have you known the miseries of your father?
By nursing them. List a brief tale, and when 'tis told, although my heart would burst. The bloody proclamation to escape taught me to shift into a madman rags, to assume a semblance, very dog as a stain. In this habit met I my father, with his bleeding rings, his precious stones new lost. I became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair, and never, O fault, revealed myself unto him. Some half hour passed when, armed, told him of our pilgrimage from first to last. His flawed heart, alack, too weak to bear the conflict twixt two extremes of passion, joy and grief, burst smilingly.
This speech of yours hath moved me.
Help, help, oh help!
What kind of help?
Speak, woman. Oh, she's dead. She's dead. Who's dead? Speak, woman.
Your lady, sir, your lady. And her sister by her side is poisoned.
Here comes Kent.
I heard the bid my master and him, I night. Is he not here?
Great things of us forgot. Speak, Edmund. Where's the king and where's Cordelia?
I camp for life. Some good I mean to do, in spite of mine own nature. Quickly, send in time. Be briefed to the castle. For my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Nay, send in time.
Run, run, oh run. To whom, my lord? Edmund, who hath the office? Send you token of reprieve.
Take my sword. Give it to the captain. He hath commission from thy wife and me.
Haste thee for thy life.
He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair that she forbid herself.
Oh, you are all men of stones. I know one is dead, and one lives. She is as dead as earth.
Oh my good master.
I'll pry thee away.
'Tis noble Kent, your friend.
I might have saved her. Now she is gone forever. Her voice was ever soft, low and gentle, an excellent thing in a woman. Mine eyes are not the best. Are you not Kent?
The same, your servant Kent.
You're welcome hither.
All sheriffs, hark, deadly.
Your eldest daughters have fordone themselves and desperately are dead.
Aye, so I think.
He knows not what he says.
Very bootless.
How should a dog, a horse, a rat have life when thou hast no breath at all? Thou hast come no more. Never, never, never. Look, do you see this? Look on her lips. Look there.
He faints! My lord! My lord!
Break heart, I pray thee, break.
My lord! Look up, my lord!
Oh, let him pass.
He is gone indeed.
The wonder is, he hath endured so long.
Friends of my soul, rule on this round.
I have a journey. Shortly to go. My master calls me home. I cannot say no.
The weight of this sad time we must obey. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say. The oldest hath borne most, and we that are young are to receive so much, nor live so long.
Camera, action! That's good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, now go back.
No, they cannot see my body. I am in himself.
Oh, that side figures in sight.
That's nature. Nature's above art in that matter. There's your press money. Draw me a clotter's yard. That man handles his bow like a crow keeper. Piece of toasted cheese with it. There's my gauntlet. Oh, poop another giant. God, the brown bells! Oh, well flown, bird! In the pot. Give the word.
Sweet marjoram?
Pass.
I know that voice.
Ah, Goneril with the white beard. They flatter me like a dog. Told me I had white hairs. They say A did no to everything I said A did no to. Was no good divinity. When the rain came to wet me once, and the wind to make me chatter, and the thunder were not peace at my bidding, there I found them. There I smelt them out. Go to, they are not men of their words. They told me I was everything. 'Tis a lie.
The trick of that voice I do well remember. Is it not the king?
I ever inch a king. When I do stare, see how the subject quakes. Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters. Down below, I don't know the word, I want to get it right. Down from the waist they are centaurs, the women all above. Beneath is other fiends. There's hell, there's darkness, there's sulphurous pit, burning, scalding, stench, consumption. Give me an ounce of civet, sweet apothecary, and sweeten my imagination. There's money for thee.
Oh, let me kiss that hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, ruined piece of nature. Dost thou know me?
I know thy eyes well enough. Dost thou squint at me? No, do thy worst, blind Cupid. I'll not know. Read out this message, this challenge. Mark the pen of it.
Were all thy letters sent I could not see?
I would not take it from report. It is, and my heart breaks at it.
Read.
What? The case of eyes?
Ah, are you there with me? No eyes in your head, no money, no nerd, no purse. But yet you see how the word goes.
I sleep feeling.
What? Art mad? Americans see how this world goes with no eyes. Take that I mean, friend. Get thee glass eyes. And like a scurvy politician, seem to see the things he does not. Off, boot. Harder. Harder.
Matter and impertinency mixed, reason and madness.
I know who you are. Thy name is Gloucester. Thou must be patient. I'll preach to thee. Mark.
Alack,
Can I stand up?
day.
When we are born, we cry that we have come to this great stage of fools. And when I have stolen upon these sunlaws and kill, I will die bravely, like a smug bridegroom. What? I'll be jovial. Come. I'm a king. I'm a king, and there's life in it. Come and you'll get it. You shall get it by running!
A sight most pitiful and meanest wretch. From the very highest something of your head, extremest upward of your head, to very dust below your feet, a most toad-spotted traitor. If thou sayest no, this sword, this arm, and my best spirits are bent to prove on it. Whereto I say, thou liest.
Back do I toss these treasons to thy head.
You attack first. Right. Behold, I protest. Despite thy victor's sword and thy fire newfound fortune, thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor, conspiring against this high illustrious prince, false to thy gods, thy brother, and thy father. From the highest ascent above, the extremest upwards of your head, to very dust below your feet, most toad-spotted traitor. If thou say no, this sword, this arm, and my best spirits are bent to prove upon wherefore I speak, thou liest.
Back do I toss these treasons to thy head.
I like the way I got alive.
What you charged me with, that have I done, and much, much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I.
Okay, and again, you're right.
Yeah.
Do I come up here or do I stay back?
I'm assuming you want me to say my line that I walk in, right?
Yeah. How?
Yeah, that's way harder than doing it the other way. Because then my knee's in the way. Needs to be this way.
Okay, then you put your foot. No, sorry. I picture everything.
I know what you're picturing, but it's not that easy.
Okay, so you got this for that.
Right handed.
Okay, try switching her the other direction.
this way?
Yeah.
That's the much easiest thing in the world to do. Ow. She is dead as earth.
Oh my good master.
Hie thee away.
'Tis noble Kent, your friend.
I might have saved her.
A plague.
Oh, a plague. A plague.
Shall I walk to the other side now? So you can see me?
Please.
And drag me off so
Thank
Kent
you.
doesn't follow me.
Well, now he can fall.
He can fall this way, because then I have you.
Can I have a cue?
Yes, I can get here.
A plague what?
Murderers.
Oh,
traitors,
plague.
all.
Murderers, traitors, all.
I might have saved
I
her.
might have saved her. Now she's gone forever. Her voice was ever soft, low and gentle. Low and gentle. Excellent thing in a woman.
And now you may look up at him and tell him, I killed that slave.
I killed the slave that was a hanging. I told her.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
I killed the man that was a hanging thee. And then how am I supposed to see Kent? Yeah. Turn all the way around.
Okay, so you probably would too.
Oh, look at her face. As I see this, her lips. Her lips.
Okay, and you might even grant me, right? You have a heart attack,
Oh.
right? So the passion of seeing maybe she's not really dead.
The tragedy of the
That's why we're doing this practice today. Okay. Lear.
How now? How dost thou?
Sarah, you were best to take my box
Why, my boy?
Why? For taking one's part that's out of favor. There, take my coxcomb. Why, this fellow has banished 2 of his daughters and did the 3rd a blessing against his will. Now follow him. Now must needs wear my coxcomb.
Make it the end. I'll pray now. You poor wretches. How shall you fare with this contented storm? I've taken too little care of this. I said I'm not nice. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
I've taken too little care of this.
I had taken too little care of this.
Give me that hand! Who's there?
You don't want to get out of your own.
What art thou?
What art there? This is Grandpa here at the hovel. Come forth.
Away! The foul fiend follows me! The sharp northern blows the cold wind. Come, go, thy cold bed and warm me. The mighty philosopher.
It's good.
It's not my life.
Yeah, actually, I think Edgar said too much. Edgar, away, the foul fiend follows me. Go to that close. So,
That's what I said.
yeah, so there's going to be a lot of response. So you can take time in between those lines and so when you, let's have your entrance again. Get under his shoulders. Yeah, and get him in the middle. And yeah, like that. He can have his feet up here. We're gonna like stick him in the middle. Okay, he is totally out of it because he really needs to sleep. You're right.
Okay, well, they're gonna cut me off.
Yeah, we actually put him on the stairs. That'll be good. Okay.
If thou shouldest dally half an hour, his life with thine, and all that offer to defend him, stand in assured loss. Take up, take up.
That's good.